Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for December 20th of 2024 is titled The Long Night Moon. So what do we see here? Well, here we see the full moon from December the 15th, just a few days ago. And that is sometimes known as the cold moon or the long night moon. And that is the closest full moon to the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. Now here we see the moon rising, meaning that the sun had just set. And that's because the full moon will always be located opposite to the sun in the sky. And that is because of the positioning. In order to get a full moon, it has to be directly opposite the sun in the sky. Now this was again the closest full moon to the winter solstice for those in the northern hemisphere. And that will mean that the moon is the biggest source of light. That would be the winter solstice would be the shortest day length of the year. So that would be the combination of a very late sunrise and a very early sunset would give the shortest amount of daylight. And how much daylight that is depends on how far you are north or south of the equator. The farther north you get, the more extreme and the shorter length of daylight that will occur. Now this was also, of course, the last full moon of the year 2024. The lunar cycle is about 30 days. So the next full moon would be expected in mid-January of 2025. Now this was also another extreme for the moon, in that it was a major lunar standstill. And this is the time that the moon ends up at its farthest northerly point. And that occurs with an 18.5-year cycle. So it will get to its farthest northerly point, and then years later it will get to its furthest southerly point. And that is because of the precession of the orbit of the moon. And that will cause it to adjust relative to the positioning of the sun. And this gets its most extreme northerly moonrise and moonset on this day. And then that will continue, and the moon will be less northerly extremes over the coming cycles. But it reaches that extreme every 18.5 years or so, just because of the relative positioning and the precession of the moon's orbit over that length of time. So here we got to see a full moon that occurred in the extremes of being the longest night of the year. So the longest night, the shortest amount of daylight, as well as being at the northerly extreme, the farthest north that the moon can possibly rise or set. And that was what occurred here just a few days ago. So that was our picture of the day for December 20th of 2024. It was titled The Long Night Moon. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be major solar standstill. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.